We're back in Shanghai for the Warcraft Gold League. This is day 2, Group D, the hypest of all hypes. This is Lyn versus Happy.
When we saw the pairings when they were first released, this is what we're most excited about. We're like, oh my god, this could be a finals matchup already. These are two of the strongest players, probably the two strongest players of their race, and they're meeting here in the first round. Lyn, the best that Korea has to offer, against the best that Europe has to offer in Happy.
Indeed, man. The West has struggled. OC was defeated, Hunter was defeated, Cash was defeated, but the savior has arrived. For the very first time, the strongest European player is here at the Gold League in Shanghai.
Bowing to the audience as well, but he is the Emperor. He has dominated Europe for so long, and this is the moment we've been waiting for so long as well. Especially the Europeans, especially the Western scene. This was this one beacon of hope. Only theoretically we could praise him as one of the best players, but now he's going to be actually proving himself offline.
Indeed. For so many WGLs and GCSs, the chat and the community has been asking, where's Happy, where's Happy? And of course, where's Grubby? Yeah. But we're still waiting for that one. The answer is, he's here right now. His fans got him into this tournament. He himself got him into this tournament with a flawless European qualifier, not dropping a single map.
That was insane.
That was an insane run, man. He didn't even break a sweat. It didn't matter if it's best of 3 or best of 5. He just swallowed them away like a fly.
That was online. Once again, they're dominating in unbelievable fashion. We have seen him since then offline in one tournament at the Legendary Cup. There, he did win as well, which kind of everyone was expecting, but not that easily. Didn't stomp through the entire bracket without any map losses. Actually, against Cash, was very close in the matchup against ORC. Perhaps his biggest weakness. There, only with a 2-3. And as I was talking to him yesterday in the interview, he actually said that he doesn't really expect to defeat Lyn here.
True. The interview is up on youtube.com/back2warcraft. You should have watched that in the break because that is all hype now. That was also a different patch. That was 1.30.4. Now the Blade Master is back with a mighty critical strike. Orcs have suffered a lot without that critical strike. Of course, they had another Windwalk, but Lyn was the only one who was still getting at least decent results. Not the strongest Lyn that we saw in previous GCS tournaments when he was in the grand final against 1-2-0. But yeah, 4th place in the qualifier, which was partly played on the old patch, shows that he put in a lot of work on ladder and had some decent results in the qualifiers as well. One semifinal, always round of 8, enough points to finish 4th. He is the 2nd best earning player in Warcraft 3 history, Lyn. And Happy, of course he's dominating the European scene. Of course he has most likely the best micro in the world, but no premier title yet. He oftentimes plays from home, and there everything is as he's used to. Chair, screen, position of keyboards and stuff. Everything is as he likes it to be. Now on stage, how fast can he adapt, and how will he withstand the pressure? The pick maps and bans. Last Refuge, Amazonia out for Lyn. Happy gets rid of Echo Isles and Twisted. Fairly understandable, I think. Concealed, Northern Isles, and Terranos stand left.
Unsurprising here, the remaining maps between Terranos and Echo Isles will oftentimes be for the Undeads. Happy electing to stay in with Terranos. In fact, picking Terranos as a loser's choice. Happy has been playing a lot of Tier 3 late-game expansions, actually, which I wouldn't be too surprised to see here as well. Happy has been developing a bit of a new style. Lots of Frenzy Ghouls have found their way into his repertoire. Earlier, by the way, Lyn and Happy played at least one practice game against each other that I saw, which Happy won, by the way. But practice is practice and tournament is tournament, and we're going to head into our first game right now.
Weeks and weeks of hype come down to this. This is Warcraft versus Emperor. This is Lyn versus Happy. This is match number 1 on Northern Isles. Lyn, he has won it all. WCG, BlizzCon back-to-back, WCA 2016, ESWC. All the biggest tournaments that we had in the scene belong to him. But what about the Gold League? One final, and that's it. It's his 6th participation. Only 3 times he made it to the playoffs. Was kicked out by Foggy and Romantic, respectively, in group stages. Last time, he won the 4th place, lost to Infi in the 3rd place match, but it was okay. In those hard times for Orc, he was there, getting into the top 3. That also goes for the Yule Cup. No, not for the Yule Cup, for some WGL qualifiers, for the H&W Masters, where he finished 3rd, and next spring, not too long ago, where he had a crazy run from the first game of the lower bracket into the top 3. We can say Lyn is back and Happy is here. What shape will they present here today?
DK first, and we have a bit of a playback here because, as the observer was pointing out, there was a bit of a build error by Happy early on. I think he went for the shop first and realized, wait, that's the wrong build order. Because, of course, it's the crypt that's supposed to follow up. That costs you effectively, I don't know, how much gold is it? 25% of 130 gold. So it's not that much, but it's a little bit of resource that's not necessary to lose. Is that the nerves? Is that Happy, the cold emperor, starting to sweat?
Yeah, everything is a little weird now. Screws with basically everything, as every build order is, of course, lined up to the split second to be perfectly maxed out. This happens to European players against Lyn. Last time it was Neutron doing unusual mistakes with like forgetting rally points, of course.
Yeah. Also, the entire base for Happy looks really weird. There's no wall off at all. The graveyard is super far out in the open. Hunting ghouls might be easy with this. Also, hunting acolytes could be a possibility, but Lyn may not even be looking for that, not expecting that to be likely at all. He can make up for it, though, with an Acolyte last hit, which shouldn't be allowed, but it actually happens! Lyn with the big mistake! And I'm looking at Happy's face. Is he smiling? No, he's not smiling, but he actually has reason to. And with that, is actually back in the game.
Exclamation mark by Happy. Usually these moves, we see them from 1-2-0. The Undead Necromancer that brought the race back from the dead after Tad abandoned the scene. Now Happy with an Acolyte steal as well. And what a big jump towards Unholy Aura.
Is that actually level 2 right away? If it is, this is such a big deal. He's finishing the camp. It's not quite level 2. Not quite enough. We'll need one more creep for the level 2, and with that, the Aura. Moving out to the Murloc, we'll be looking for that pickup. We have the circlet for the Blade Master, the gloves for the DK. Both decent items, not the claws, not the one you're looking for most.
Not slippers as well with this one. Critical Strike will be unlocked in a second. Tax should be rather fast on both sides. Low supply in the early stages of this game. No expansion, of course. Yeah, tech is like 1/3 done. And the Nerubian Tower is coming as well, respecting Lyn's aggressive potential with that Blade Master into economy, of course. But Lyn plays it very conservatively. Now maybe with the replenishment potion, he does have a lot of healing and more mana to work with. And I think that's the sign for him to go into the north, into Happy side of the map.
Very nice grunt scouting. This is the first big move of the game. Otherwise, the DK could have sniped an item down there. The Ogre Magi could have been his to grab up with 4 skeletons. That's doable. But Lyn has that covered. He's covering the greedy options of his opponent, keeping him honest, and himself managing to creep up a little bit more over here. Gonna get the next consumable. Gonna pop the Scroll of Speed probably for that one. And gonna get a little bit closer to level 3.
Stealing away this one. Of course, Happy knew that Lyn was at the shop as he was moving there himself. So, oh, the circlet is gone. That can only mean one thing. Good micro by Happy here, saving that Fiend. The Blade Master can't do too much on only level 2. Happy got the Unholy Aura as well. Lightning Shield in this matchup, maybe on the TC later, but then there should always be Dispel. Tier 2 is finished for the newbie player. The third one that we see in this tournament. The entire squad, of course, represented here next to Lawliot at 1-2-0. And we see Happy's first person in the bottom right.
And his exceptional control, which he is so well known for. In the interview, by the way, Lyn revealed that he actually has a lot of respect for Happy. When I asked him about the top favorites of this entire tournament, he said the 2 ones that should come unsurprising, TH and Infi, but then he named as the next 2 Happy and 1-2-0.
Okay, no Moon.
Nope.
That is interesting. This is also kind of what the Warcraft 3.info ELO ranking is saying. There's 2 players with 2,300 points and more. That is TH and Moon. They've been dominating this year. But Happy is very, very close to that almost unique mark of 2,300. So yeah, he has to prove himself here, though. Oh, using the Lightning Shield to creep. That's nice. to speed things up. So that big consumable on Happy's side, big invul potion, nice against the big damage from the blade.
Happy playing uncharacteristically conservatively though. Staying on his side of the map, being seemingly afraid to move out, creeping close to his main, and that is safe, but that means these camps aren't going to be left later on, for which time you would like to keep them reserved. Shadowhunter out now, a little before the Lich, but that second hero will be joining the battlefield here as well. And Lyn also showing signs of respect, not looking for the early aggression, not looking for the speed scroll engagements and the kills. He says, okay, Happy is too strong to fall for that. I'm just going to play this passively and creep.
This, by the way, is a rematch from the Blizzard Invitational that we've seen in March 2018. The two players were facing off each other there in the Korea versus Europe clan war, and Lyn won that one with 2-1. It was just awesome to see the genius of the Orc versus the micro of the Russian. Blade Master's doing a good job in buying time, forcing Happy away from this creep spot and buying time for his own Shadowhunter, of course, who's rapidly arriving at level 2. And the Flute is going to be great for the Blade Master with Orb against Destroyers later, and also the Headhunters that will most likely come into the mix. But Happy's life gets a lot easier with the Frost Armor now, easier to keep things safe. But 2 Fiends are already hurt, and this is all done by the Blade.
This Lich is actually a little bit late. I think Happy has this weird tendency of going for a build order that isn't exactly ideal. Going for the Slaughterhouse, then the Lich, then the Ziggurat, which means that the Slaughterhouse can't do anything because you don't have the supply anyways. For that reason, the Lich is so late and now a full level behind. That is quite a big deal. Going for the Temple of the Damned very early and then for the Orb. And with that, perhaps confidence resurging in Happy. But I have to once again say this. Happy is looking like a lot more afraid in this match than usually he is. Yep. Normally he moves into every game, every map with confidence. Don't think we can say this here so far about this game.
He does have a good Lich, so the inventory there is nice. It's a little too late. Level 3 item went to... Wait, what did I get?
Must be on the DK.
Ah, Talisman. Yeah, that's true. It's a different Happy for sure. In the spotlight, we can see his super quick fingers over there in the bottom right. Lyn can do whatever he wants on the southern side of the map.
Yeah. And has a big experience advantage now. Good Blade Master usage, as of course we're expecting, putting a bit of damage everywhere, only attacking one target once, realizing that Happy is quick with the... Did you get the item?
Yep. Right.
Yeah, it's a small item nowadays. It's like a small item and a very small item. This item drop, these item drops were changed, but the claws, the potential claws are still available. Pit Lord third, by the way. Peon expansion?
Whoa.
Before
really? Is he back to this greedy Expo style at early tier 3?
He doesn't have the resources for it yet. But he's got good hero levels here. Does Lyn 3 heroes, the Blade Master with the Hellstone as well, and now the Orb of Lightning. He is looking pretty strong, actually. This is an advantage for the Undead in the late game. He doesn't need a level 3 Lich necessarily to fight in the late.
But he finds him.
Orc needs the Shadowhunter.
We have a Pit Lord and the first Banshee, so a lot of damage mitigation if it should come to a fight. Happy has a lot of mana and Snare, but the coil arrives earlier. Howl of Terror on everything, and there's Curse as well. So the Blade Master doesn't do too much damage, aiming for that statue. I love that move. Here's the first miss. Nice Stomp as well, hitting everything, and the statue's gone.
Fiend doesn't quite get devoured. The Raider will be falling to a Coil Nova. Where are the Novas? He's holding on to the mana for so long. Howl of Terror once again. Shadowhunter, by the way, completely out of mana. This could be the opportunity for Happy to turn it around, as he has the mana advantage now, and with that, the healing advantage. Timely Purge gets rid of the Frost Armor, and with that, the next Fiend falls. Also, the Banshee might be falling. Blade Master has to be careful, but it will be surviving. Coil towards the Lich. Saves the second hero there as well, but Lyn is finding a lot of kills, getting the next Fiend. And with that, is going to be satisfied and will be falling back.
Reveal a little late. Lich has used a lot of mana now, and that is Lyn's sign to go for that expansion. That fight was so good. Almost a 10 supply lead at the end, now down to a 5. But Happy is struggling. A lot of damage is gone from his army. A lot of Fiends were killed. The region was lacking as Lyn was immediately sniping the statues. How often do we say this? Like, against Undead, if the statues are exposed, go for him. Lyn does it now into great success.
Blade Master once again coming in. This is a tiny army by Happy. He has barely any damage over here. I think he needs to bring the ghouls. He has enough lumber to do that as well. Stomp once again towards the heroes. This statue will be falling again. The Raider, though, extremely hurt. Could be sniped here with the Nova if there is mana. Coil will execute the Raider. Kodo Beast gets the Devourer off onto one of the Banshees. Nova hitting the Kodo, might be falling. No, the Heal Wave saves that one, actually.
Heal Wave was so good. The Blade Master was in like 50%. The Kodo was low as well, hitting both, getting them both in shape again. Reinforcements coming fast, but yeah, there's also the Health Stone to get the Blade Master back to full health, and yeah, Happy needs his signature micro now. He needs moves like this, but the block not perfect. Does he want to invest another coil? That would be his last one. TC coming in. Can he twerk enough to prevent this kill? No.
Level 2 for the Pit Lord. But yeah, Lyn definitely with an advantage. This expansion will not be getting cancelled anymore, it seems. And there's no counter expo up against it. Lyn with a good lead in this game.
Yeah, 1-0 was punishing Lyn so hard when he was trying the expansions against him. Especially in the grand final there, that they played against each other here at the Gold League. Whenever Lyn was trying to do that earlier, there was 1-0 shutting it down. Happy, not too familiar with the timing, maybe a little surprised, but Lyn did a great job in keeping Happy close to his base. Now we have the ghouls with them, an insane weapon against Raiders.
Is he making the Frenzy Ghoul transition? That is something we've been seeing Happy more, doing more and more. This is the third ghoul, this must be Frenzy soon. He doesn't have Frenzy yet though. These ghouls aren't that strong just yet. The SH coming in with a lot of mana here once again. Happy doesn't have that much. Massive stomp into basically everything. Scroll of speed. Kodo moving forward. Doesn't get the Devourer off though. Has to be Micro to the back instead. More Banshees coming in for more curse as well. The TC has to be careful. Coil Nova! Too much damage. The Heal Wave can save the third hero. The TC gone, and so is the Aura. Blade Master looking for the statues in the back once again, but himself dropping low. Has to be careful. Has to go for that invul. Where did all the mana go in the Shadow Hunter? He was full mana a second ago, and now he has nothing left, which means no more healing, which means this Blade Master has to be careful now. One more Raider to fall. Kodo Beast, I think, did get a Devourer off. Happy also dropping lower in units. One more coil coming out. He had the mana for that heal, and the Raider being slowed by the Frost Armor will be losing its life thanks to the block.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Happy is back in this game, taking the supply lead, but still this big obstacle of killing the expansion ahead of him. He does have decent normal damage. The tower will not come off. Shadow Hunter was healing a little bit, needs to attack him to cancel the clarity. How well will Happy do in this upcoming fight? Blade Master is back. No items anymore on him though, and Curse is once again applied.
One Heal Wave. That's the only one. The only one for a little while at least. Kodo Beast in the back also hurt. Blade Master has to be careful. He has to go into Windwalk. Whose Sentry Ward is that? I'm not sure. I think it's the Orcs actually. Now we see a player cam from Lyn. How he's... No, actually that's Happy, excuse me. Who's finding more and more kills, and now the peons are exposed. There may not be any ghouls here anymore, but now level 3 for the Lich as well. He has the mana for one more Nova, hitting all of the peasants, all of the peons, and level 4 for the DK as well. And Happy is back in this game, now with the lead himself.
Seriously crazy how he does that. The Kodo survived, okay, but Lyn is still struggling with mana. The Shadow Hunter bought a mana potion now. Blade Master is close to 4, Shadow Hunter is close to 4, but the Undead has almost all the necessary levels. Level 4 DK to save himself with Dark Ritual, level 2 on the Nova. Okay, losing a statue here now. Good pickups for Lyn, but this was not to be expected after the early mid-game dominance by Lyn.
Yeah.
And he has to engage now. There's no repair. Happy can't TP out, so just right-click and then escape. Doesn't even have to do that. Expo shutdown.
All right. We're back at 50 versus 50, basically. What are the hero levels saying? We're pretty even. And remember, Lyn had quite the lead at the earlier stages of this game. Blade Master still not level 4, still can't make use of a strong critical strike. Bonus damage, by the way, from his inventory isn't that great, but of course he has the Kodo Aura level 2, which does provide quite a bit by itself. The next big item, well actually it's not that big, it's the ring for him, for the DK. Not too bad though, put it on the Death Knight or on the Pit Lord, it's gonna help with the tanking quite a bit.
We didn't mention this yet, but the Pendant of Energy was a pretty good drop, actually, for
That's
this
true.
DK.
That is
Happy's coils almost always on time. Just remember this Amazonia game against Foggy, where Foggy was putting 10,000 damage on a Lich, but guess what? Items and coils helped them. Double level up now. Talisman.
Oh, the Cloak of Flames!
On the Pit Lord.
That is so good. Just give the ring over to him as well. Give him an invul if you can, and this is going to be
Like-
suddenly a tank that deals damage.
Exactly, like this Talisman of Evasion, the Ring of Protection.
Oh, you're right, the talisman!
Yeah, and
Frost
like,
Armor, boom!
We will have Curse, we will have Howl of Terror, and the Ring, and the additional mischance from Evasion.
So much damage
This
reduction.
Pit Lord could be the most insane tank possible
Lich
on
was
this
at the
map.
marketplace. Did he buy something? Our roommate didn't see it though.
Big invul, maybe? Did he get that before?
Oh, gets a statue for free here. That's pretty nice.
Oh,
Oh, the
miss.
misses!
Curse is a pretty damn good spell.
Absolutely. The weakness of this Pit Lord, he's very good for tanking and he's very good for damage mitigation. But the weakness of the Pit Lord is, if the TC gets to level 3, he can carry a game in the late game. And this is why this TC kill early was so important. He wasn't there to participate in the red camp creep. In the TC, he's close to level 2.5, but that's not really close to level 3.
Lyn also unlocking Critical Strike level 2. We saw crits around 100 in the fight prior. This will be a lot higher now. He won't hit everything because of the mischances, but it still will be a lot of damage, even if he's not that pimped. Here's the claws for him now, and the flute, which doesn't apply to the Blade Master here in this case, but still decent. Expansion by Happy.
Both players at around 60 supply, and off we go. Big Stomp coming in right there, but only level 1 Stomp. We have Curse everywhere, and now we have the Howl of Terror as well. Pit Lord in the front with the Cloak as well, dealing decent damage. Kodo moving forward, getting off the Devour. This one could not be dodged. The Scroll of Speed still running. The Wind Rider being taken out quickly, though the Kodo Beast would be the biggest kill. The Heal Wave trying everything to save the unit, but he doesn't manage to actually save it in the end. Berserker's now in front, trying to take out the statues, but also eating a lot of damage from this Lich with the level 2 Nova and the Focus Fire. Next Scroll of Speed popped, wanting to save some units and look for those statue kills in the back. But there's so little damage. Even the Blade Master doesn't do that much DPS, and the statues are still standing. The next Howl of Terror coming in. This is tickle damage from the Orc side.
Absolutely. Can Lyn somehow turn this around with great stomps and hero focus maybe? Going for the DK hard, but there is a TP, there is a big invul, there is a big protection shield for Happy around his first hero, and Lyn taps out! Happy struggling,
Damn.
fucking up his build order, but that didn't impress him much. Russia taking map number 1, but whoo, what a game. Action-packed, undead versus orc. This is how we love our Warcraft.
Strong comeback there by Happy. And, well, we disproved one myth in this game, in this first one. Happy can feel the nerves.
Yeah.
Happy can sweat a little bit. He was looking a little bit shaky there early on, but then out of nowhere came the Coil Nova, came the signature move from the Undead, with that the TC hero kill, and the momentum seemed to completely shift. And then Happy was once again utilizing his unbelievable micro to get back into that game. He was down in levels, he was down in supply, he was down a base. He was supposed to lose that game, but he didn't.
Let us not forget the first impact that Happy had on this game, and that was the creep steal with an Acolyte. He did that mistake with the build order, basically a mistake that does never ever happen to pro players, but then he got that move and it was like, okay, this is Happy now. He had good micro with the Fiends, saving a lot of them. The first fight was pretty bad for him though, but yeah, he fought back. This was Pit Lord Banshees, man. What a combo this is.
Yeah, the damage mitigation is amazing. It's quite insane. And the TC, again, the TC is the key hero against that. If you don't have to worry about silence, the stomps can be insane. This is why this hero kill was so important. Not allowing the level 3 to ever be reached.
Next map is Lyn's though. What's it gonna be?
We had remaining Concealed, I believe.
Concealed it is.
Concealed and another one. Twisted is vetoed, of course. Echo is vetoed. LR is vetoed.
Wow, this must feel good for Happy now. I mean, even if he loses this map, he still has his map to fall back to on map number 3. He had a strong comeback, showing that in the fights, he seems to be superior for now, if we take this first little match. Because both are so insane in micro. Like, what Lyn is able to do with the Blade Master and how clutch his heal waves are, and usually how good his Devours are, and the movement of the Kodos. Let's not talk about Orkmer, because Lyn is utterly insane in that. And yeah, Happy is Happy. Like, we all know how strong he is.
But Happy not looking completely impenetrable. Usually not only is Happy's late game micro potential insane, which it was here as well, but also his early and mid game map presence, map efficiency, taking out key targets, key camps on the map, sniping items, sniping experience. None of that was really doable on the first map. The first Grunt Scout really threw a wrench into the gears of Happy's early game plans, and then he was feeling very timid, staying close to his main base in the first fight, which he kind of lost. Why were ghouls not brought? This was so close to the main base, ghouls could have easily been brought, would have been much easier to fight than the Orc forces. Didn't do that, perhaps forgot about it.
Well, actually, it was pretty good that he didn't use and lose them in the fight up there, because he needed them for the push against the expansion, and bringing them into the bottom right was such a key move there again to have a little bit of meat shield and the extra damage. We are going into Lyn's map. This is the only map with Fountains of Healing. The War Chief, will he get back, or will Happy take the 2-0 and advance to the winner bracket final of Group D? We will see. Happy in the upper right. Hopefully...
I like the observers on him right away, trying to see if he has the correct build
Yes,
order this time.
exactly.
Speaking of build orders, by the way, Lyn is not a one-trick pony. Lyn is not a player who only goes for the Blade Master. In fact, he was playing a lot of Farseer in this matchup against Undead in weeks and months previous. Farseer with a fast tech and then a tier 2 expansion with a TC. Stay on tier 2 then, and with the income of the second base, spam mass tier 2 units, mostly headhunters and also grunts and raiders and so forth. Is that gonna be now the plan for this map? Not necessarily the best map to pull it off on, as the natural creep isn't easy by any means. Creeping that with a TC and 3 grunts isn't that simple. There's poison damage everywhere, there's a lot of damage in general. If you get creep jacked there, that can be painful. Observer also curiously waiting for the first hero choice. It won't be the Farseer.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Cancels the shop.
That was the barracks.
Barracks, sorry. What? And going into fast tech?
What?
Ooh, Lyn, indecisive as well.
Wait.
It's not like he wants to fool Happy, because no one saw that. Chinese crowd. Yeah.
And now he
Happy
goes for
fan
the
right
shop.
here. Now he goes for the shop. So
he's going to creep the ogre first, get the claws, and then heal up, and then harass, I guess? Happy's going to see this main, and he's going to be like, what the hell is this, dude?
yeah, why is the shop so late?
Yeah, he must be thinking, okay, this is Farseer. Yeah, there's no barracks, which means Farseer. But if it is, exactly, why is the shop so late?
Maybe this will confuse him a little. Does Lyn have something up his sleeve that I'm not aware of? Or is he gonna just play his style? Happy, by the way, do you know how many series he lost this year?
A town is under siege.
You're looking on your paper, man. Don't cheat!
Players' forces
Tell
are
me.
under
A
attack.
single one. And that was the show match against Lawley that he lost 1-4. Every other series has been won, and we are in like the end of June. That's so sick.
Yeah. I think... And the audience here, the sign that we saw meant, be a man, Happy.
No, to be a man, you have to be happy.
To be a man, you have to be happy.
Yes.
There we go. Neo's got it. I didn't get it. Yeah, I looked it up as well, actually, in the stats. As we all know, Happy dominates online like crazy. And the last cup that he participated in Europe that he didn't win was CM's Cup 4,
Wow.
which he lost to Lucifer in the semifinals with 1-2. That was the 27th of October last year. If you want to be a man, you have to be happy. Right? That's what this meant. So level 2, DK here being crept quickly with the 2 small camps outside the main circlet. And the gauntlets actually pretty good for trading early on. We're going to have very few units from both these players, as we have a quick tech instead. Here finishes the barracks now. And the Acolyte still putting in the work, man.
Yes, of course. It's a little distracting there for Lyn, but nothing too serious. A new set of Rod of Necromancy, level 2, and the bit for Happy, as this matchup is always a little tame, a little passive, a little slow in the early stages. Lyn also not too aggressive, or not as aggressive as he was on Northern Isles due to the size of the map, obviously. But it's also a little bit of evasion creeping, or he checks for evasion creeping. But Happy just goes for the standard stuff and just gets through with it.
Yeah, but what is the plan here by Lyn? Like, he delayed his barracks by so much for a faster attack. Is this the idea? Because, of course, you can't keep up with the creep speed of a DK with Fiends plus Skeletons with just a Blade Master. That doesn't work. Oh, there's actually an opening into the main, though.
Again.
There's no narrow tower here, but it's a level 1 Blade. It's not like he does that much damage, honestly.
Still forces Happy back before reaching tier 3, which is quite nice.
Player's forces
But
are
Happy
under
does
attack.
this for the second time.
Yeah.
Did that on...
This is something that always baffles me with top players. They're so good at so many things.
Yeah, this is
And
why
then
I'm
the base
thinking,
layout is so awful.
is this somehow on purpose?
I don't think so. That would be kind of weird.
Maybe-
Is he really luring the Blade Master in on purpose? I think he's just like, it doesn't matter so much where my buildings stand.
TC second. No Shadowhunter second.
Wow, that
So-
is some old school stuff.
Yeah, is this like
A player's forces are
just
under
base
attack.
lane? Because Lyn realizes in an open fight, in an open micro battle, I have no chance against you. Let's do the grubby-esque mass raider, mass siege damage build.
But for that, you also kind of want the Shadowhunter to have the heal wave so the ghouls and towers can't stop you too easily. Claws +9 here for Happy. Very good items for him this game. He's going to sell the gauntlets later on and make me sad. But still, it is good items.
Oh,
Is this tier 2 expo now? TC second tier 2 expo?
Yeah.
So,
Only one bestiary as well. It's not mass raiders. It's also not mass wyvern or anything crazy.
A
Happy's
player's
looking for the creep
forces
jack.
are
He
under
was
attack.
expecting the opponent at the lab. That's not the case. And for once, the skeleton scouting isn't that amazing. If he was down at the gold mine where his opponent is right now, this is super scary to deal with. This is the DK with a lot of mana with level 3. Only 2 fiends, but that's still pretty threatening. Is there a peon here?
Yeah.
I think one's coming, right?
It's coming, yeah. And the skeleton was close as well, but scouting for the creep spot there. He is not expecting Lyn to do what he's doing. Like, I think he's reading him wrong.
Yeah, I think so too. And this may not be a Farseer first, but this is still the tier 2 expansion, which Lyn was playing for so long, pretty successfully.
A player's forces
So that
are
this
under
isn't
attack.
scouted for is definitely a mistake. You have plenty of skeletons at pretty much all stages of the game. Some of them should be scouting, especially at key timings for an expansion. And if he had been there, this would have been a good creep jack and an easy cancel. But now, more and more raiders will be coming. We're going to have Ensnare, and we're going to have the lockdown from the Stomp as well. So if you do later on try to go for the cancel of the Expo, that can become very costly with 1 fiend dying, 2 fiends dying, possibly even 3 fiends dying.
Oh, we got to scroll the beast. With this build, there's basically no dispel in Lyn's army for now, so a lot more damage for Lich and Fiend, which is really
Player's
nice for
forces
Happy.
are under attack.
Also has the dust. First rat spot goes to Lyn most likely, but his scout is going out.
good.
He won't be in time,
It's
though.
going to take forever, though, to creep this Drake.
Yeah.
He's only got 2 raiders in a moment. At the moment, he only has 1. He can't kill the Drake.
He's quite lucky that the skeleton is not scouting for him, and Happy tries to punish this. But Happy will reveal the expansion at around 60%, I would say.
So he has the time to run down there and try to cancel it, but
Under siege.
does he have the
Player's
ability to
forces are
go
under
there is the
attack.
question against the Ensnares.
Or should he focus on his own progress and wait for the scary timing that he's looking for, maybe even again with early Banshees or an early third hero, whatever that's going to be.
Pit Lord it is.
Oh, Pit Lord it is, indeed.
Happy's army is looking pretty scary, but the Lich is not level 2. There's no Nova in this, which makes things a lot easier for Lyn. Speed Stroll trying to prevent this cancel, Ensnares flying, the first one onto the Fiend, and Happy's gonna take this fight.
Alright, Howl of Terror onto everything. No Banshee this time. How many units can be saved? Oh, Coil aggressively very early on to get rid of that Raider. It's only 1 Raider remaining, so only 1 Ensnare. That's actually not too much.
It's so
Happy-
easy now to micro with the Frost Armor.
Yeah, exactly. Everything is slowed down. What a block, but the statue are slipping
Almost.
through with the TC. But there's still plenty of coils, only a little damage from Lyn. Happy is just breaking through this defense of the Korean, and there's still so much damage. I don't think he even needs to scroll the beast.
Nope.
He can just right-click this.
Orc bases, expos take forever. 2.5 minutes was too much time to get this expansion up. The cancel is forced. The Stomp doesn't hit the DK, so the coil is there, and Happy hasn't lost a single unit. Maybe one statue may have
Surround.
missed, and he gets the grunt as well. Happy in a dominating position now. He cancelled the expansion and now has a tier 3 versus tier 2 advantage, which is massive.
And a supply lead, and the Lich is getting closer and closer to 2. He has a lot of tools in the box now to finish this game. Lyn is trying to get a tier 3 transition in, but losing more and more stuff. He has 2 grunts and 3 raiders. This is nothing. No reinforced defenses, and that would be the perfect timing for this. Oh, he did not have the Scroll of the Beast anymore. Used it before, maybe. Lyn, last stand or what? TC is dropping low. Once again, Howl of Terror on everything. No Dispel. That's the weakness for the Orcs with this build for sure. Statue being ensnared, Blade Master follows, but how long does it take him to just kill this one statue?
But at least the front line is holding pretty well for now. A lot of beefiness here on the Orc side that holds on and holds the line. Final level 2 for Lich, and now we have the Nova. And now Hero Kill becomes a lot more dangerous. The Blade Master being focused right away, but plenty of mana still left. Long range coil saves that Fiend in the back, but the Ensnare may secure the kill. Stomp, trying to buy space. The Ensnare gets the Fiend here in the end with a Devour from the Kodo Beast. Blade Master, though, has to be careful. Has the Windwalk and gets out.
No reveal anymore. Man, that save of the Herd Fiend to the north, that was pretty sick. Here he comes back out of the Windwalk, though. Oh, he can still save him!
How fast he is. There comes the backstab hit, and before the next hit swings, the Fiend is micro to the side.
Incredible. The shop is gone. No mana potions, no heal potions anymore for Lyn. Lyn is struggling hard in the...
Didn't get the orb!
Didn't get the orb, and he didn't get any other potions. Ooh, this is not looking good. Again, trying to catch reinforcements now. That might be a chance back into this game, but his base will be in shambles once he comes back.
Yeah. Already supply stuck here with the first Burrow lost, and Happy can commit deep into the back of this base if he wants to. If he finds himself in a bad position, he can just TP out. It's fine. He's not in that much danger. But Lyn has to buy time for his Shadow Hunter on the way. Has to go for heal wave first. Of course, he needs healing so badly. I imagine he went for a heal scroll. He didn't, actually. Doesn't have the gold for it.
Happy not going all the way, killing the burrows, just wants to fight. He seems a little bloodthirsty, wants to get the job done. Kodo Beast caught. Will he invest in Nova? No. Lots of mana on the Lich and Pit Lord and a decent amount on the DK. We have the first Banshees. Lyn was struggling with damage, and now it's getting even worse.
Was Happy pooling reinforcements? 2 Fiends, a Statue, and a Banshee all waiting together. Still not using the Nova. Would love to get the TC with that. Now using the Nova. Looking for the surround. Oh, he had it for a second. Lets him slip through. Lyn, lucky there a little to get his second hero away. Grunt will pay the price. That's, of course, going to be welcome for Lyn.
But what is Lyn buying time for? Of course, for his tier 3 stuff to pay off, but only now he can go back into 50. This saved a lot of gold for Happy that he didn't spend, in quotes, when he had to break upkeep. Happy knew, okay, you can't get higher than 40. I'm totally fine with this. I'm saving my resources. He was pretty rich there. And now, of course, knows that Lyn has to lick his wounds, has to replace the shop as well. That's even more resources. So he's not going to be overwhelmed by mass in no time, but maybe by Creepjack.
Blade Master finding a good opening towards the statue in the back. Again, this is the most important thing to get out, to take out of the undead army. And the Banshee almost getting destroyed there, killed off as well, but there's the Curse and the Pit Lord. Howl of Terror once again, mass damage mitigation. But we don't have mass Banshees just yet. Most of these targets aren't cursed, and Lyn is finding a possibly decent fight, but won't be overextending his welcome. He's going to be satisfied with the 1 kill and the 1 devour, and he backs up.
Happy got to be careful as well. Yes, he's short on mana, has no coil. I guess 1 Nova. The Pit Lord is okay, so he's going to keep up that Howl of Terror.
Blade also hurt. The Shadow Hunter has heal wave, but only level 1, of course.
Forces are under attack.
But it's so dangerous for Lyn also to play passively, because if Happy gets back to 4 Banshees, maybe 1 or 2 more Fiends, then suddenly everything is cursed again and nothing is dealing damage anymore. Hard position for Lyn. Like, what is the correct play here? It is far from obvious.
It's certainly not expansion, I guess. He cannot afford that at all. Happy scanning for the Blade Master. He's not here, so he's finishing the dragon. Item is the Scourge Bone Chimes. Okay, not an item for him, but at least he takes it away from Lyn. The items are predetermined once the map loads, so this was supposed to be Lyn's red spot. He takes that item away. Otherwise, it would have been a lot harder for him in the fights.
Plenty of good items here. Kind of every item is good, actually. Even the belt helps out the Blade Master or the TC. And it's going to be Level 3 for the TC almost. He gets it, actually.
Is it expansion time for Happy? Yep,
It is.
it is. So we mask, by the way. Sweet on the TC.
But the Shadow Hunter here is looking so weak. Still only level 1, and we don't have many camps remaining at all. We have the lab still. That, if it's solo crept. Wait, is the Ogre Lord still alive? He is,
Yeah,
right?
he is.
That's very rare. Usually those get sniped early on by the orcs especially. Alright, Lyn is finding some more pickups here on the map. Oh, and it's the Brilliance Aura.
It seems weird because there's not a single caster in Lyn's army, but for the TC, in combination with the Sobi Mask and for the Shadow Hunter, that is fantastic. Slowly but steady, the Korean is climbing back into this game. Another,
Two
double
pickups.
reinforcement pickup. 6 supply just gone.
He's finding his way back. He's feeling his way back into this game. And he's going to get the cancel up there as well. This is definitely enough time. Can he get out without losses, then is the question. The one gun is being sacrificed, going into the undead army, hoping to distract, but the bigger kill, of course, is the Kodo. Nice scroll of speed there, though. Saves the Kodo for now.
This expansion was at 60%, can most likely not be healed. He has to cancel it.
Blade Master went for the TP. I like that. He's going to try to save his units here, trying to evacuate with as much as he can, and looking for some pickups as well. Gets the Banshee there. Well done by Lyn, but the Kodo will die in the end. Level 3 now for the Lich. Nova just became a lot stronger. The TC with the Stomp trying to cover the retreat, but more Raiders will be falling. One at least.
Invo potion on the blade. He wants more damage. Reveal used. Can he save that? Oh, he's surrounded. He has Windwalk to get out, though. Still revealed. This bought a lot of time for the expansion, but Happy this time is on the button and knows exactly that the expansion is up. This was to be expected, actually. But alright. Can he punish it for the second time, or will this turn into a 2-base play? By the way, just saying, we have 5,000 viewers for a group stage match in Warcraft 3 2019.
And it's deserving of this viewer count. These two are putting in on a hell of a show right now. Lyn playing this so well from behind, doing everything he can to still have a chance in this match, but it's not looking too great. Yes, he's even in terms of supply, but the hero levels aren't doing him any favors, and the Banshees plus the Howl are super strong. But the Expo is up. If he can repel this attack and then make use of a superior economy, Lyn still has chances in this game.
2 ghouls. Is this enough normal damage? Can Lyn interfere, or does he let it die? It seems like he's not going back. Has a TP on the blade, but the blade is in the main.
He could staff to the army and then TP to the...
Nope, way too late.
Alright. What are the hero levels saying, ladies and gentlemen? 4 DK, 3 Lich, 2 Pit Lord. Why is he not solo creeping the Shadow Hunter here?
Good question, man. Level 4 Aura is good, but he's so far away. And Lyn occupying the middle. This was something Loliot brought into this. Just towering up and then expand. But again, this is Happy in the main. This time we have reinforced defenses. This time it's a lot harder to kill the buildings. Okay, we have a base race.
Lyn is trying everything just to have a chance in this game. Raiders, of course, with plenty of damage towards the buildings. Happy's going to have to TP sooner rather than later. Is there a scroll of speed to get out of this?
And a split attack towards Happy's expansion. Love that. Not sure what it is, Raiders or Grunts, but it's still doing damage against a not up expansion, and he has to cancel it. Tremendous play by Lyn, and he's towering it up there.
So smart. So smart.
200 IQ Lyn.
There's so much focus on the edges of the map, the 2 gold mines, the normal position, so that the middle, after the big camp is gone, there's no reason really to scout there, to be there, to pay attention to it. Lyn realizing this so smartly and now reinforcing that position. He's going to have the money for a tiny Great Hall soon, but it's still risky to go for that. The army for him still isn't that big at 47 supply, and Happy still seems to have the upper hand should it come to an engagement.
Yeah, Lyn is supply stuck again due to that 1 burrow kill that Happy was able to get prior to the town portal. But now the fountains come into play. Lyn can stay close to Happy's expansion, constantly heal up, and then try to push again or split push again. Level up for the Pit Lord. That is level 3 for him. Level 2 Howl of Terror doesn't scale that well, but still, it's a little edge that he gets.
It's a bit more. With Curse on everything plus level 2 Howl, it's like 60% damage reduction or something. I once did the maths, but I forgot the maths.
Also, I wouldn't trust you doing math. Just
to be honest, I asked someone from the community and they did it for me.
Wow, stealing the fame.
A player's forces are under
Selling
attack.
it for yourself. All right. Lyn again poking into the base, hoping for a town ball, but Lich and DK are there.
Lyn, though, with good positioning, is going to be keeping the middle base safe. We are going into 2 base versus 2 base territory, ladies and gentlemen.
Main bases will expire in like 3 minutes.
Nice splitting by Happy as well. Heroes in the main, DK and Lich, and the rest of the forces at the army. But the Blade Master's distracting, and now it's the Pit Lord by himself over here. Where's the Howl of Terror? A little bit late. Happy is distracted, losing the first Banshee pretty quickly. Only now the Howl hits.
A player's forces
At the end of the day, it's only 1 Banshee. Not too many losses, but it's also more time once again.
A lot of
for
damage
Lyn.
on the blade, as you can see. Yeah, doing the split pushes against a former StarCraft pro. That takes some balls, but well executed. Bought time for that expansion, and Happy seemed to be, I don't know, a little struggle at one moment, but of course his expo is up now as well. 2 base versus 2 base.
Zeppelin.
Yes, Lyn didn't break upkeep once this game, right? So
I don't believe he did. I don't believe he did.
no goal lost to upkeep.
All right, we're going to continue the harassment route here. Blade Master perhaps is going to go into the main again, distract, and then if the Zeppelin drop comes in and actually kills the Haunted Gold Mine, this would be a massive blow. That's probably what Lyn is looking for right now.
Does Happy expect this? He is still close to his expo.
We have adept training on the Banshees, actually. You might be moving into Master. We saw Anti-Magic there.
Yep. There we go
There's
for a
Master.
lot more mana and
And
mana regeneration.
And again, there's an opening towards the Acolytes. Happy and his base layout.
It's actually not too bad with the gold mine almost mined out. Second temple at the expansion. Here comes the drop. Is it enough damage, or can he get rid of it soon enough? Where's the Pit Lord? He needs the Pit Lord for the Howl of Terror. Close to the Raiders. Is there enough repair? Seems like it. Storm comes in. Free damage at the moment, but the Howl of Terror is ready. Anti-magic shell against the Storm damage, and Happy prevails once again.
Oh, but every unit saved. Well done by Lyn. Cost him a TP though, but he's kind of getting that gold in again with the harassment in the main.
Yeah.
2 Acolytes there killed off as well.
3-3-2 against 4-3-3. Master Banshees don't take that much time anymore, and Lyn, for the first time, is exploding into 62 supply.
Usually the big strength though in the
Players'
super late
forces
game
are
for
under
Orcs
attack.
against Undead is that Walkers, funnily enough, become strong again. Against Banshees with Spirit Link and Disenchant, they are very good, as you usually have mass Headhunters as well to counter their counter. Destroyers would be the answer to Walkers, but they just get annihilated in the super late game. But we don't have any Walker transition here so far.
It's a very interesting dynamic in this matchup. We don't even have Headhunter upgrade yet. It's just a normal one. Happy. Is it time to push for him? 2 invols, nothing on the pity. 66 supply. Oh, this could be the last fight. Is Lyn ready for this?
TC moving forward, looking for the first stomp. That one wasn't that impressive. The Raider safe to the side. Kodo Beast moving forward. The Devours here could be a big game changer. Doesn't get the first one off though. No slow speed just yet. The DK in trouble. Has to go for the Inno. Wasn't a big surround right there. Nice load up of the Kodo into the Zeppelin. Zeppelin gets grabbed, but Kodo's still alive. We still have Banshees in the back though. Haven't seen any possessions just yet, and that was a massive stomp. That is what the TC was looking for, but he's mostly out of mana now. Blade Master still trying to put in the DPS TC. No mana anymore himself. Big Nova towards the backline. The Headhunter's so low with that. Now Kodo Beast goes for it, but still the overview with the Fiends doesn't get the Devourer off. The front line still fairly healthy for Lyn, the Raiders and the Grunts both. DK once again in a bit of focus fire early with the Death Pact there. Doesn't want to fall to any kind of cheesy hero focus attempts. Now DK, low mana, has to be careful still in the surround by the way.
3 new Banshees coming in, and there's also a heal scroll and invo potions for Lyn, but stuff is dropping hard. Needs to use that heal scroll soon. Loses the Kodo and possibly 2 more, and Lyn gives it up. Was dropping in supply, and Happy gets revenge for the Blizzard Invitational. And yeah, 2-0. Arrive, raise hell, leave.
And tapping out there, he was still at 45 supply, right? The heroes were still alive, but I guess he felt he couldn't hang on anymore against the 2 base of Happy, despite his own expansion in the middle of the map, with towers there fortified.
Yeah, I don't know if he can turtle at that expansion and get back into this. but Happy looked so strong in this. Maybe he was a little, frustrated and not be able to keep up the micro in the fights. Happy was just that damn good. Maybe maybe a mistake not using the heal scroll there. Everything was so low and he had that item still. Didn't use it, lost 2 units, and then the downward spiral started like crazy. This lit just was becoming insane, was in a good position, was also in a safe position. I think he would have just picked up stuff. And the damage was just not there. Oftentimes an issue for Orc, and Happy plays it to the fullest. Early Banshee with the Pit Lord combo, there is no damage.
True. The damage mitigation, absolutely insane in that match. I would have liked to see Walkers. I think they're super strong, but it's easier said than done. It's a long transition. You have to go for the totem first, then the adept training, then you need at least 3 Walkers. That is really worth it. That's a long damn time in the late game. Did Lyn have the time to go for that? Questionable, really. Questionable. Happy was always mustering forces, was waiting for his 66 supply where he has good damage and also the mass damage reduction from the curse. So it was a tough spot for Lyn. But remember, he fell behind super early in that game. And kind of interesting, kind of fascinating, honestly, that 2 world-class players like this in 2 maps both mess up their early game builds. Kind of weird. Perhaps nerves did get to them in the end, but I mean, the game plan from Lyn didn't work out at all. Tried to with this tier 2 expansion, didn't work out, but then moving around the map so masterfully and staying in the game and getting the expansion up after enough distraction was really well done. That was really masterclass of Orc, honestly. He could have just very well fallen in that situation. Many Orcs will die. That's this push hitting the main, they're trying to defend, but they have crappy heroes and they just fall. But Lyn, smartly maneuvering across concealed, kept himself in the game.
And to fuel the hype train a little, this was Happy's weakest matchup, I think. He was struggling against Cash in MTW Legendary Cup. He is destroying humans and Night Elves. Well, Night Elves maybe. Night Elves might be his weakest matchup, but Undead Mirror, you don't want to play that against Happy. Night Elves, okay, yeah, we have to see about that. But let's say one of Happy's weaker matchups. And Lyn is certainly one of the best in that matchup. And yes, of course, some fights could have gotten the other way. And if Lyn plays a little things differently, he could challenge Happy a little more. But that was after being a little shaky in the very beginning. Again, super confident, super stable, no mistakes, amazing micro. And if that transcends into the later stages of the tournament, oh boy, are we in for a treat.
I was hoping we would see a winner's interview with Happy, but perhaps they're not doing it right now.
I'm pretty sure. I think
exactly
they will.
sure.
We have a translator. Alex, right?
Alex should finally have her first job of this tournament. So far, the foreigners haven't had the best time here, but Happy showing up in full force. A little shaky at the very beginning, but coming back strong.
We are going to the stage, and hopefully you will hear it as well.
欢迎回到直舞台，我们把掌声送给 Happy。
Little louder, please, production.
同样也是欢迎我们的美女翻译。
Bowing to the
首
emperor.
先我们想来问一下 Happy， 请他给我们来点评一下刚刚这2场比赛他的一个发挥。
Okay, so can you make a comment about your performance today?
Well, I didn't expect it to beat Lyn, so I think it's good.
他说他没有想到自己会打败Lyn，所以他觉得感觉很不错。
是。那问一下 Happy 来到我们中国参加比赛这2天的感受怎么样？
So how do you feel about your few days here in China in this tournament?
Well, it's been okay so far. No major problems. Everything is okay for the most part.
感觉这几天还不错，没有什么太大的问题。
是。那来问一下 Happy， 这一次对于自己定的一个目标是什么？那还有就是他觉得他自己小组出线的这个心情大不大？因为他已经获得1胜了嘛。
Now that you defeat Lyn, how do you expect your rankings in this tournament, and do you have any confidence in the group stage?
Well, I will be happy if I will actually advance from the group to the playoffs. I think I have good chance of advancing because I think I should have good chances against Sok and Live. I didn't expect it to beat the Lyn in the first place, so I think my chances are good.
他一开始没有想到自己会打败Lyn，但是现在呢，他觉得自己的还是蛮有信心的。他觉得自己有可能可以打败Sok和Life。
是，那我们也是希望这个 Happy 可以好好加油。下个问题的话也是来自我们的观众，同样是来自魔坛的微博茉莉花地这位水友提问，他说：“我想问一下 Happy 哦，这次来中国也是体验到了全新的黄金联赛，感受如何呢？会不会有更多想来中国比赛的计划呢？”
Okay, now that you experienced the brand new tournament in China, do you have any plans in play in more tournaments in China in the next few years?
This tournament is rather an exception, so no guarantees. I simply don't know. Maybe yes, maybe not.
他认为这次的这个锦标赛呢，就是也是比较例外，他也不确定自己以后会不会，在中国就是打更多的比赛。
我们也是希望可以在这样舞台上多多看到 Happy， 再次把掌声送给他。好，那谢谢 Happy。那么接下来的话是我们今天最后的一场比赛，所以千万不要走开，我们马上回来。
All right, we have one more match for you in store, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be Live versus Sock. Right back.